Good morning, Villa fans. The smile is back. Villa are bringing in a forward player. I hesitate to call him a striker, but it looks like the deal is done for Evann Guessand to come in to Villa Park. Apparently flying in today. It's game day today against Roma. He's having his medical. Will he be unveiled on the pitch tonight at the Bescot? Who knows? Villa Park's not ready. So, let's have a look into Evann Guessand. And here are 3 reasons why I think this is going to be a really, really good signing for us. Reason number 1, versatile. Plays anywhere across the front line. Started off his career and played his younger days as a winger, sort of on the right and on the left as well, comfortable on both flanks. And then last season had a breakout season with Nice, playing more through the middle. So he can play anywhere. He can be a backup to Ollie Watkins if we need him, but he can also put pressure on Jacob Ramsey on that left-hand side. And he can obviously, put pressure on Leon Bailey if Bailey does hang around as well. So the versatility of this man is brilliant. You could probably compare his versatility to someone like Marcus Rashford. In terms of Rashford, obviously can play as a 9, but is equally comfortable playing from the left or maybe even from the right as well. So we saw that, firsthand last season even. And with Guessand, I'm not saying he's the same level as Rashford. I'm not saying that, but in terms of versatility, he'd give you that option to do, what kind of Rashford offered to us as well. And obviously, he's not going to be sat on the bench waiting for Ollie Watkins to be injured or, out of the side. He's someone who can put in a shift in other positions. Reason number 2 to be happy about this signing is that hopefully now we're not going to be interested in Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Nicholas Jackson and bringing in one of those kind of strikers when nobody really wanted them. Guessand is that second striker. He can play that position very well, so he will fulfill that duty as well. The 3rd reason to be happy about this signing is Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers would hopefully going to be playing in that number 10 position. There's no need to put Morgan Rogers out on the right-hand side or on the left-hand side because you've got Guessand who can play either flank. So he can take one of those spots if needs be, if we are in, injury crisis on the flanks, let's say, and he can just move Guessand either left or right. So that's the 3 reasons why I think this signing is going to be really good for us. He's up and coming. He's 24 years of age. He's just turned 24 on the 1st of July. So he's 24 now. He's 6'1". He plays internationally for Ivory Coast. And I'm wearing this top here, Luke Roper top, in sort of tribute to our last Ivorian striker, Jonathan Kodja, Jimmy Danger. So hopefully he'll be, as successful as he was, especially before that injury. So he's Ivorian, even though he's born in Nice, came through the Nice Academy, played for France up until under 19, and then kind of switched his allegiance to Ivory Coast. Only made 10 appearances for Ivory Coast, scoring 1 goal. But this is a guy who's very much been a winger in his kind of formative years, youth years, and that's reflective on his stats and how comfortable he is with his dribbling. So obviously being brought up as an out-and-out winger, he's going to be someone who's going to be running at full-backs and committing people. But he's grown, he's physically matured, and that's probably why Nice played him sort of through the middle last year, where he had kind of that kind of breakout season, and you saw the kind of goals that were coming in there. And, overall in Liga, his stats are 120 appearances, 22 goals, which doesn't sound great. But as I said, he's only played 1 year as a striker. And then last year, he played in 33 matches, 12 goals, 9 assists. So that, again, that just goes to show that he's much more than just a goal scorer. Ollie Watkins is obviously an out-and-out goal scorer for us. Guessand is going to give us a little bit more. He's going to give us that versatility. He's going to give us crossing into the box. He's going to give us little passes in behind the back line as well. So he's not just a goal scorer. He is a creative player. And those 9 assists last season really reflect that. And in the Europa League, 7 appearances for Nice, scored 1 goal in their run in the Europa League. And if you're comparing him to other players, he's quite similar to sort of Morgan Rogers in terms of, he likes to get the ball and carry the ball. What he's been doing recently, obviously through the middle, is that he's playing a lot of the game with his back to goal. So he's holding it up spinning players and then turning. But he's equally adept at picking the ball out wide and being very positive and going one against a fullback as well. So he's exciting on that point of view. He has got a 50% dribble success ratio, which means it's good, very good. So he will beat his man, but then equally he can be kind of frustrating on that side as well, where he can lose possession. But he's going to be one of those players that gets you off the edge of your seat. When he gets it, it's going to be like, oh, what's he going to do? Is he going to beat the man? And he will beat the man, but he also might lose possession. So he's a player that you don't want to get frustrated with, and I'm sure that we won't. But he's someone who's going to excite the fan base. I think he's just going to give that little bit of a buzz when he gets the ball. And I do see him playing more from a wide position, whether it's Bailey's position on the right or whether we put him on the left. I do see him popping up in those sort of positions more than I do as a central striker. He can be used as that central striker, of course, as well. But, those are my kind of stats on Evann Guessand. And I think he's going to be a good signing. As I said, brought up as a winger, came through the Nice Academy. The last player that we bought from Nice was Jordan Amavi. Maybe we've got Agent Sanson on the case here, Morgan Sanson, playing for Nice at the moment. Maybe Evann Guessand has had a chat with him about what life is like in Birmingham, what the international cuisine is saying around sort of the Birmingham area, and sort of, what kind of good words maybe Morgan Sanson has had in his ears. I'm sure that he's been in contact with Jonathan Kodjia as well, been obviously an Ivorian striker, played at Villa, might have, asked him his advice about, the club, the area, the culture of it all, and how the move would kind of suit him. So I'm sure that Jonathan Kodjia's probably had a word in his ear. His idol growing up was obviously Didier Drogba, being from Ivory Coast. And he's kind of models his game a little bit on that. He is big and powerful. And what I've seen of him on the YouTube reels, and I've been watching probably every single YouTube reel going now, is that, he's comfortable one against one, when he's playing out wide to go at his man. But when he's playing centrally with his back to goal, he's got the power and physique. I mean, I mentioned in my shorts that he's similar to, a Bertrand Traore and maybe an Emmanuel Adebayor type striker. But having even more of a closer look at him over those reels, I would say that he's probably more closer to a Rafael Leao. And I'm not saying, again, he's not at the same level as Rafael Leao. But in terms of being this big, strong, physical guy who carries the ball well, dribbles the ball really well, that's the kind of vibes that you get while watching Evann Guessand. So it's going to be interesting to see how he kind of adapts to Emery's systems. There's a lot of talk about his work going forward and what he does, but he's also strong at pressing, sort of the defensive side of it. I think he was in the sort of the top sort of 10 or 12 players in Liga for his pressing from the front as well. So he's going to be an exciting watch. He's going to be someone that gets the fans excited. It'll be interesting to see if he does get announced and revealed today at the Roma game. Would he be in line to make a debut against Marseille? Obviously, Nice and Marseille are big rivals, so that will be quite interesting on Saturday if he's available. I do think he is actually nursing a bit of a knee injury at the moment, according to Transfer Market. So I'm hoping that's not going to put any problems on the medical, that he's actually currently carrying a knock. But I'm sure they've done the due diligence. I'm sure they've done the background checks and everything like that. So who is Evann Guessand? Who is Guess Who? That's my take on things at the moment. Just wanted to jump on for sort of almost 10 minutes and to talk a little bit about him. But I'm buzzing for this exciting signing. 28 million apparently, plus a little bit of add-ons here and there. And he's 24. He's just turned 24. So he's got prime years ahead of him. And he's just so versatile. That's the thing. So I think this is basically, us now probably kicking away the Marco Asensio talk, Jack Grealish talk. I can't see that happening now because this guy can play multiple positions. I think we're probably going to be in the market maybe for one more player, and that will probably be some defensive cover, maybe someone that can play centre back, right back, perhaps around that sort of area. But I can't see us doing too much more business. But now Monchi has got the wheels moving. Nobody saw this signing coming, really. I mean, I did say previously this would be something out of the blue. I mean, this has come from outer space. I mean, only two people who knew about this was two aliens sat on Mars. And it's just come completely out of the blue. Guessand was a player whose name was mentioned briefly a few months ago, but only very loosely, as I mentioned. So I think this is a great signing for Villa. I'm very excited to see what he can do. And as I said, he'll be an exciting player for us, hopefully for years to come. And hopefully we can, push forward with another sort of couple of signings before the end of the window. Come on, Monchi, get that transfer wheel moving. Till the next one, guys. Enjoy your days. And hopefully we win tonight against Roma. Come on, Villa.